Dressed in her perfect white uniform, with all her waitressing training behind her, Helen Collins started her job in 1953 as a waitress at the Harvey House in Newton, Kansas. The same year, she married her sweetheart, Tom, at the age of 17. Helen was a Harvey Girl, a job that became famous after the movie Harvey Girls came out in 1946, starring Judy Garland and Angela Lansbury. Helen worked at the Newton Harvey House until it closed on May 5, 1957. Helen has a brain as well as a scrapbook packed full of Harvey House memories, and tonight she'll share some of those with us. Please welcome Helen Collins presenting tonight's special History, Tips, and Hot Coffee.
I wouldn't say I have a brain full. Anyway, I'll start out. Didn't you know what I was? Fred Harvey came to America at the age of 15 years old from London, England, on a ship by himself. He come over to New York and went to work in a restaurant washing dishes. Eventually, when he grew a little older, he decided that wasn't enough for him. He had to have something else to do. So he went to work for the Hannibal and St. Joseph Railroad in Missouri because he lived in Kansas. And when he went to work there, he was a mail clerk. They decided to stop at a restaurant to eat. The engineer and the owner of the restaurant were in cahoots. They found out because it was supposed to be a 30-minute stop, but it ended up 15 minutes and the guy blew the whistle and everybody had to get back on the train. So what do you think happened to the food that had been served to these people? I hope it doesn't upset anybody's stomach, but the owner of the restaurant would take that food back to the back and serve it to the next group of people coming through. Fred Harvey was among those people, and he said that will never happen again. So he went to the Burlington Northern and asked him if he could start up a restaurant. And they told him, no, we don't want you. Okay? So he went to the Santa Fe, and the Santa Fe said, yes. When and where would you like to start? He said, when and where do you want it? They said, we'll fix the depot up in Topeka, and we will fix it up, and then you can start your restaurant there. His first restaurant opened in 1876 in Topeka. And then it just went from there across all down the Santa Fe line, clear out to California. Okay, it wasn't long after that, they were well known. Burlington Northern came and asked him, said, would you come and start restaurants up in our place? And he said, no, because you didn't want me to start out with, and now I don't want you. Well, I don't blame him, I'd have done the same thing. But anyway, when I went to work for the Harvey House, I thought, okay, I'd gotten married, we lived with my mother-in-law, and I thought, enough's enough. So I told my husband, I said, I'm going to go get me a job. And he says, and where are you going to work? And I said, I'm going to Harvey House. So I went up there and applied for the job, and I went home. He said, well, when do you start? And I said, tomorrow morning. Oh. The first day I went to work, I waited on the manager for 8 hours with my training. Can you imagine that? Anyway, I had to carry coffee, and I thought, okay, she told me if I spilled one drop of coffee in the saucer, I had to go back and get a new one, clean one. I said, okay, so I thought, okay, I'll do it different. I'll carry the cup in one hand and the saucer in the other. No, that's not allowed. You gotta carry them both in the same hand. I said, okay. So by the time I got done working over there, I could carry 4 cups in one hand.
Oh.
2 here and then 2 sitting on top of them. And not spill one drop. See, I gotta find my notes here for a minute. And when I was working, I had one railroader that used to come in and he'd have 1 cup of coffee, because I worked the counter. And when he got done with the coffee, he'd leave a tip, he'd get up and leave. When I'd come around to clean the counter, he'd left 1 penny. And I told my husband, I said, I have about had it with him and his penny. I said, one of these days, I'm going to throw, if I can catch him before he gets to the cashier, I'm going to throw that at him. He said, you wouldn't. I said, I will. So one day I was working and I come around the corner and he'd just gotten up and got halfway over to the cash register. I walked up there and I hollered at him and called him by name. I said, here, you need this worse than I do, and I threw it at him. Well, that was a good idea to a point. Because the point was, I did not know the manager was standing behind me when I done it. So he seen her talking to him, and he come back over there, and he told her, he said, you know, he said, her husband just told me a week ago that she was going to throw that penny back at me. And he said, I didn't believe her. But he said, I do now. The manager looked at me and she said, okay, just don't ever do it again. I said, I won't. But after that, when he'd come in and have a cup of coffee, he'd leave me a nickel. So one day I walked up there and I said, you know, I said, the penny was a lot of fun, but the nickel is even better. That makes you dig deeper in your pocket. So anyway, we had quite a go-around on that. And, but he had other ideas of things that he wanted to do. Fred Harvey ended up starting the dining cars on the trains. And people couldn't believe that. Why would you ruin your own restaurant by starting up the dining cars? Well, why not? You could make more money by keeping them on the trains. He never hired any women on the trains. It was always men. And when he first started, he hired nothing but men. And he come in one Sunday morning to one of his restaurants, and he looked at the manager and he says, where's all your waiters? Well, he said, you know how young men are. On Saturday night, they like to go out and get drunk, and they don't want to work on Sunday. He said, oh? He said, then how come I'm here? The guy says, well, I don't know. He said, okay, you're fired and all of them are fired. Now get out right now. And that is when he started hiring women with upstanding reputation and had to be between the ages of 17 and 30. Signed a contract for 1 year that they would not get married, and they lived in the dorm, and the upstairs, they had rooms for them up there. And they said, well, okay. They had a house mother. And over here at Newton, I can tell you, I know of 3 that went out on the roof and jumped down off the side of the building in order to get out at night. I won't name them who they are. But it was quite interesting when I was working there, because there was times when there was time that I would love to have told Fred Harvey and everybody where to go. I guess I better quit talking.